elders, past, present and future, and recognise that this land was never ceded and that we are on stolen land. I'd like to pass you over to Jemima, an undergraduate SCA student, and we're going to run us through the Let SCA Stay campaign.
Okay, hey guys, I'm Jemima Wilson. I'm a second year print media student from the Sydney College of the Arts, which is where I intend to finish my undergraduate degree and hopefully go on to postgrad. So let's make that happen. It's going to happen for all of us. I just wanted to introduce our campaign. If you're new today, you're from main campus, you haven't heard of us before, we're Let SCA Stay. We're a united front of students, alumni, postgrads, everyone who supports the Sydney College of the Arts. And what we've been doing from the day we got the email announcing the closure of our college with a stupid PR spin on it, we've been fighting on all levels. We've got this amazing team of, like, I'm here just yelling today, but we've got an amazing team of people who've put in so much work over the past 2 weeks. And I just wanted to quickly, I'm sure there's flyers circulating, I wanted to run through our demands because that's at the core of our movement. This is what we want from the university today. So what we've got, we demand that the University of Sydney stop all negotiations between themselves, UNSW and the New South Wales State Government on visual arts tertiary education and the SCA. We want we want no staff cuts. We want all our teachers and all our technicians to stay because they're precious. They run this college and we love them. We want no changes to the course resolutions that we enrolled in. That's our right. We're consuming this product and the university has to deliver it, so we demand that. We don't want any changes to the facilities that we have. We have the largest printing press in the Southern Hemisphere. We've got amazing glass facilities. We've got jewellery. Nowhere else has these things and we need to keep them. We want those facilities as they are. And following that, we want no changes to our precious studio-based education. This is central to visual arts learning and we are so lucky to have it. This is not delivered at the other universities and we're going to keep it. And lastly, I want to add in that the university has actually removed the BBA, which is what many of us are part of. They've removed that. And so today we're going to demand that the University Senate readmit the BBA to the university. Brilliant. Okay, thank you guys. So how today's going to run, I've kind of done talking for now. We're going to march across to the Senate meeting and we're going to have a few run speakers and then we're going to do an open mic and I'm going to be trying to run that. So I'll try, anyone who I know, I'll introduce you by name, otherwise I'll try and do my best to get your name and introduce you and get you up there. I'm sure many people want to speak and I want to hear all your voices, but just be aware that we'll try and get to you when that happens, and we're just going to have to see how it runs when we're over there. Cool. Let SCA stay, guys.
So just before we march over, we're lucky to have here today Lee Rhiannon, the Senator of New South Wales. They've been a great support to the campaign. They've shared the Let SCA Stay page over Facebook, offered us printing, and just been an all-around great politician. Now, just before we get them up here to speak and say some fighting words, I just want to acknowledge that so far in this campaign, since the announcement, we've had open meetings of 60 people. We've packed the SCA auditorium multiple times. We've sent Stephen Garton packing. And here today, we will be sending this message once again that the visual arts at Sydney University will be staying. I'd also like to acknowledge that we have a petition that has over 4,000 signatures. If Cecilia is in the crowd, it'd be great if you could raise your hands. But not here today. But I think we owe them a round of applause. And if they don't listen to 4,000 signatures, that's half the amount of signatures that you need to get a referendum in Switzerland. Well, then we're going to have to speak a little bit louder and use our collective power to force the university into allowing SCA to stay. Lee Rhiannon.
I do acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet and pay tribute to their history, their culture and their ongoing contributions to our community. Excellent to be here with you today. This is a campaign that we will and we must win. The Greens stand solidly with you with your demands. The Sydney College of Arts must stay where it is. All the demands actually have to be recognised. No need for negotiations, there should be solid support. What's going on here is that we have a Vice-Chancellor, we have his senior managers who are just intent on saving money so they can put money where they want. Just classical neoliberal approach to higher education, approach that we've seen so damaging. What's very important right now is that we all recognise why we can win. We can win because history's on our side. There's been so many progressive wins that have delivered excellent education outcomes. And just recently, there's been some important battles right here on this university. Defeating deregulation twice. It didn't just happen in the federal parliament. We were able to get the numbers because people like yourself, the NTU, students here and across the country rallied. We also had the big wins here at Sydney University in stopping the cuts to staffing. Another ugly attempt by Vice-Chancellor Spence. So coming back to your very important campaign, it's essential we retain the current setup with Callum Park. Studio-based education is something the Greens recognise how essential it is. Absolutely. Because let's remember what's going on here. With the attempt to push the SCA into the UNSW setup, it should go from studio-based education to sitting in lecture theatres and then learning at home. That's no way to develop the arts. And again, we go back to how Vice-Chancellor Spence is handling this. If I talk about excellence in education, that's just that con language he comes up with to hide his neoliberal agenda that is going on here. And I saw this up very close when we were debating deregulation and fighting the attempts to introduce $100,000 degrees. It was actually down here in a lecture theatre. And there was the Vice-Chancellor at a rally, and his opening lines was, "I support free higher education." So he comes up with that line, but then goes to do everything to bring in policies and back a very crude, brutal coalition government intent with those ugly policies of pushing costs onto students. And at the same time, he tries to dress it up because he knew he was with an audience who weren't favourable to what he was backing. So he would go to those extremes of using language of free higher education, and now we're seeing he's trying to make out that what he's interested in and what his attempt to effectively get rid of SCA is about excellence of the arts. Absolute rubbish, a con job, you're well aware of it, we're on the verge of exposing it. Why it's so excellent to be with you is because we also need to remember the issue of staffing. When these senior managers come up with these plans, it certainly is effectively decimating so much of how education should operate. But the job losses that they're also enforcing are absolutely unacceptable. I understand it could be as many as 50 jobs will go. Now, they've tried that on before. We largely won, and again, the staffing issues is another essential one. So congratulations, the Greens are with you all the way. We will work through this with you. Thank you. I'm here with my colleague Jamie Parker, Greens MP for Balmain, State MP. He's done a huge amount of work about Callum Park, worked extensively with the SCA at Callum Park, has a very extensive understanding of this issue. We will work together, work with you to ensure we get the win that we know we can achieve. Thank you very much.
So we're about to march to the business school. This is a building which really pulls out the contradictions of a university. Before they were saying that they do not have enough money to run SCA. Well, you look at that building and you know it's bullshit. They spent $180 million on the Abercrombie precinct, and they spent $4.2 million on its tables and chairs. That is an amount which is equivalent to SCA's 5-year deficit.
You just want to sit down?
So today, we'll be going to the business school, and we'll be sending a loud message to the Senate, this body which rubber stands for university policy, an undemocratic body, and we're going to say we're going to make this university democratic because these are the people here who know what excellence in the arts actually means. So let's just go through some chants. SCA, here to stay, reinstate the BVA. 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 When visual arts is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! Okay, everyone knows that one. Good home. They say cut back, we say fight back. They say cut back,
We say fight back! Here to stay!
SCA.
Here to stay!
They say cut back,
We say fight back!
they say cut back,
We say fight back!
they say cut back.
We say fight back!
No cuts, no fees.
No corporate university!
No cuts, no fees.
No corporate university!
No cuts, no fees.
I'm the member for the seat of Balmain in the State Parliament, and my electorate covers quite a large part of the University of Sydney, and I'm here to say that SCA should and must stay. Because what the university is doing, it's making a decision. It's making a decision between artists and accountants. They're saying that the accountants should win, and I wanted to spend a minute talking to you about the details of this and why we're here. As you know, the university took that Cullen Park site and they paid the sum total of zero rent. Zero rent. But the university applies a formula to all of its buildings and all of its departments, and it says that depending on the square metre space that's used by students and staff and the academic community, you're charged a fee, and then that goes back to the central funds of the university. But what it does, it sets the arts up for failure, because we know that a studio-based practice, where you actually learn about art and practice art on campus, takes space, and the university doesn't want that. They say, let's basically dissolve the school, send them to UNSW where they can sit in lecture theatres, and the studio is their own homes. Is that good enough? No! What the university is saying is we are prioritising accountants over artists. They're saying that it's too expensive. They're saying it's too expensive. They're saying that the calculation that they apply to the floor space means it's too expensive. But what they don't understand is it costs zero rent to be there. And what they don't understand is that University of New South Wales, National Arts School and SCA are completely different types of arts organisations. Now, if you look at SCA, the studio-based practice, the glass-making facilities, the kilns, it's a different type of innovation. It's academic, it's practical, it's studio-based. It stands as a different, completely type of practice compared to the University of New South Wales Glorified Design School, and it stands differently to the National Art School as well. So we are here not just fighting for our own degrees and our idea of the beautiful space at Cullen Park, but we're fighting for an idea. We're fighting for an idea. evaluated human capital. It's not about sitting in a lecture hall and looking at notes online, but this art school, these degrees, these courses are unleashing the spirit in our community. They're developing and nourishing the arts. They're making better citizens and they're making the place better for our world. And that takes space. It takes a commitment from this university to say that we will support the arts, and we're here today because we want to say to the senators, elected from the undergraduate community, elected from the postgraduate community, others elected in a general election, there's some good people on that Senate, and we want to say to them that their ridiculous design to fail formula for Callan Park Sydney College of the Arts has to go, and let's let SCA stay.
Here's Ruben to say a few words for us.
Hey guys, my name's Ruben Feller. I'm a second year sculpture student at COFA. I'm here to stand in solidarity with the SCA students and staff and to say that SCA needs to stay. We also got an email letting us know that a whole nother art school was to be dumped on us next semester. But there is no room for one more student at COFA. We are crowded as it is. There are no plans to build or expand COFA, so we will be suffocated. If SCA goes, then so does COFA. So we need to stand together and fight this vicious attack on the arts together. We say fight on! The COFA students stand to fight with you, so SCA needs to stay.
From CPSU, say a few words. Postgrad student, formerly postgrad? Many years ago, a postgrad student and an avid supporter of us, so here's Grant, guys.
I think it's very short and sweet, mostly because my voice is now stuffed. I'll keep this short and sweet, mostly because my voice is now completely stuffed. There's a tremendous amount of energy in this building, and let me tell you that none of it is coming from the Senate meeting. It's all from here. I think it's an absolute disgrace that in the 11 months or so of secret behind closed doors negotiations that's gone on at the moment for the students, this is the closest that you've come to consultation, being one floor away from a Senate meeting. That is an absolute and utter disgrace. The university says that it is a consultative beast, says that it talks to its staff, says that it talks to its students before it makes decisions. We all know from this incident that that is utter bullshit. Last week, Stephen Garton tried to speak to students about the university's so-called vision for SCA. The students did not let him talk. There's a dose of his own medicine back in his face. If he won't consult with you, there's no reason for you to consult with him. And finally, last week at a staff forum, I asked Stephen Garton to guarantee the future of the Sydney Conservatorium of Music, given that it deals in the same area that you guys deal with. He would not do that. He refused to guarantee the future of the Conservatorium of Music. This is the thin edge of the wedge. First SCA, next the Conservatorium of Music, before you know it, the Faculty of Arts. This must stop, and it must stop now, and the Community and Public Sector Union is in step behind you every step of the way.
Supporter from Interstate. We've got quite a few of them today, actually. So this is Liam from Adelaide here. Tom. Bloody Liam, bloody Tom, you're everywhere. Awesome, thank you.
Cool. Hey. Hi, my name's Tom Gilchrist. I'm the president of the Student Representative Council at Adelaide Uni, and I want to say that Adelaide University supports SCA. All these students, all of you out here right now, actually fighting for your cause, for SCA. It reminds me a lot, at Adelaide University, we've been facing similar cuts to the Conservatorium of Music, and particularly, and most disgracefully, to the Centre for Aboriginal Studies in Music, across the country. And I think some of the tactics, the disgraceful tactics of the management at Adelaide University, I see echoes of them, or direct copies, here at Sydney University. These attempts for endless delays, dividing people up, reviews, and the management speak of mergers or, instead of closures. At Adelaide Uni, they still claim they haven't cut chasm, despite the fact that they're actually not accepting any more students there right now. So, But something that I think was really important at Adelaide University, despite the way that they tried to keep chasm separate from the Conservatorium, they tried to keep the Conservatorium separate from the rest of the student body, is that through protests like this, those students were actually able to place themselves at the centre of student life and actually win support. And I'd like to just read a quote actually quickly from one of the chasm students who at the protest commented on what it meant to him. He said, with this protest, I feel more a part of the Conservatorium than ever before. The university tries to keep chasm students separate, but what they're doing to our courses is bringing us together. Without that support, we go crazy. And I think it's so important that there's protests like this where you can come together and see the support that exists across the whole student body for SCA and actually take the fight to the management when you're strongest together in numbers like this. And I think, to keep up that campaign and fight, I think is so important. And at Adelaide Uni, last week, we've just heard, on the last days of exams, as students are on holidays, Warren Bebbington, the scumbag Vice-Chancellor, on $1 million a year there, he's coming up for re-election on the Senate, and I think this shows the basis on which these people are selected. His bid for re-election is to close 2 of the 5 faculties at Adelaide University. And he's the equivalent of our Senate there, that he can do that. And I think, actually, seeing this protest today, I feel inspired to go back to Adelaide University to actually have a fight back that looks like this. One that actually and say that we won't stand for the sort of closures that Vice-Chancellors are trying to push through everywhere. So I think, keep up the fight. We're watching in Adelaide and we're feeling inspired and we can't wait to see what happens next in your fight. Save SCA.
everyone. I'm Andrew West. I'm one of the alumni elected fellows of the Senate. Now, as you know, we have been fighting for 2 years to have democracy in this organisation. Now, the Senate voted overwhelmingly to exclude alumni elected fellows from the next election. So my news to you, I'm afraid, is one of solidarity, but not great news in the sense that there's very little that I can do to prevent this. But what I can say to you today is that I stand with you against any forced merger of this great college. I stand with you against whether it is a forced merger or a forced closure. I stand with you in putting that promise to you that I will fight within the room. I cannot promise you any victory, I'm afraid, because the odds are stacked against us. However, I can't let you in the room. I can say to you, though, that you will have a voice in the room. I cannot promise that it will be heard, so I can only say to you all that you must keep up your activism. You must continue the fight with the broader alumni and the student movement to show that you will not be trodden on and that you want your education to be a quality education, and I can promise you that at least that voice will be heard inside the room. So I wish you luck. I ask you to prepare for the worst, but continue to hope for the best. I cannot promise.
What do we do? Stand up, fight back! Education is under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back!
I understand your feelings.
What do we do? Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! What do we do? Stand up, fight back!
I understand your feelings. I understand your feelings. I go into the meeting now to relay the sentiment of this gathering, and I wish you luck.
FYI everyone, Michael Spencer's across the road. And meeting room 3 across the road.
Let's go!
So I say we get out of this bottleneck with the riot police, and shame on the Senate for calling the riot police. And I think this is just an indication that the university is scared. The university is scared of student power. When we had the auditorium full of more than 200 people, they invited 6 security guards over to SCA. That doesn't have any security guards. They're running scared. So let's go scare them some more across the road where Michael Spence is.
When SCA is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! Dad, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! Dad, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! When SCA is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back!
SCA! SCA!
What we think about it when we're going to start with the Let Us Stay SCA. So SCA, here to stay.
SCA! Here to stay! SCA! Here to stay!
SCA,
Here to stay!
SCA,
Here to stay! Here to stay! Here to stay!
SCA,
Here to stay! Here to stay!